Hello, welcome back to Tarot Time with Andy. Thank you for being here. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes. I'd like to do a little bit of digging around on those 4 college students that were killed. I want to ask whether or not the assailant tried buying a gun. Also, was he a drug user? Was this, the one of the victims, Kaylee Goncalves' family did not do a funeral. Because they feared he would show up because he's sick and twisted and he would just be lurking. So let's find out. Was the assailant trying to buy a gun, a weapon prior to the killings? Did he attempt to buy a gun prior to? Did he attempt to buy a gun prior to? No. No. They still don't know who it is. Will they get to around the shop, the bread baker? I'm going to ask again, yes. Will they get around to watching the person who works at the bread shop? Will they get around to watching the person and do surveillance on the person who works at the bread shop? Will they do surveillance? Yes. Are they just keeping it to themselves right now? Are they just keeping it to themselves right now? Yes. Okay, so they don't want to alert them. All right, so they're keeping an eye on them. Are they collecting DNA on him? Will they be able to get a sweat or mixed blood DNA from him? Will they be able to be successful? Will they be able to be successful? Will they be DNA successful? I'm going to ask again. Will they be DNA testing success? Yes. They've gotten so advanced with DNA, they can even get it off a drop of sweat. That's how good they've gotten. They've also gotten to the point where they can do interactive, where they can take shots of the scene and later they can actually go in as if it's live and sort of almost recreate it with digital. They've gotten really advanced in the last 5-10 years, according to one cop that was talking in this interview. Okay, so they're on the right path, I would say. So I got yes, they will catch some skin cells or blood beads or any kind of sweat beads. Yeah, they're holding back. So I think they're holding back. They're keeping an eye on him. I've said before he will repeat it. I'm going to ask, does he plan on attending the funerals? Does the assailant plan on attending the funerals? Or did he plan on it? Is he or did he plan on attending the funerals? Yes. Yes. So the mother called it right by calling it off. Yeah. So, yes. Let's get some cards on the assailant. It's a very sad situation. I can't believe the horror these poor parents are going through. Send your daughter to college and they don't make it back, and your son. Okay, here we go. Let's get some, there we go. Yeah, he doesn't want to draw attention to himself with the star in reverse, and he is the judge, jury, execution of the King of Swords. Cold, analytical, thought and planned it ahead of time. The King of Swords is that person who has the ability to take a plan and carry it through. And with the star in reverse, he was hoping that nobody would get healing or any hope. Star in reverse is this person is insecure and feeling actually quite discouraged in his ability to actually think clearly. But with that sword, he really thinks that he is the power of the mind and that he can just penetrate the truth, but doesn't want to draw attention. He knows that what the truth is. This person's kind of rigid, I would say. He is unmoved by emotions whatsoever. So this person probably has no empathy. And there's no chance for healing to get empathy. The person feels ignored, the star in reverse. I've said this before, it's kind of an odd person. Typically who do these, they're outsiders or outcasts, wallflowers, kind of go around society and nobody pays much attention to them. So this person's getting absolutely no attention whatsoever. There's no renewal of life force because obviously he cut someone out. He was judge, jury, executioner. And so there's no healing transformation for the victims, nor for himself ever to gain empathy. He does not want the fame at this point in time. He does not want the attention at this point in time, and he does not know what his long-term goals are at this time. He's insecure, an insecure, depressed, and discouraged individual. Let's get to the challenging position. Challenging position for the judge, jury, executioner there. The King of Swords, there we go. Challenging position is the Queen of Cups in reverse. That's interesting. So, Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm going to clarify that. Clarify that Queen of Cups in reverse. Wonder if that's, has not healed through psychotherapy, for sure, for starters. That's someone who would heal through psychotherapy. Probably tried it at one time, cannot get it. Can't get anywhere because the person lacks empathy. It's very antisocial. There is no fix. It's hardwired in the brain. Also, subconsciously, this person knows it as well. That is your basically hardwired as well as your subconscious. Woo, about ready to cough. Judgment. Yeah, the challenging position is to face spirit, to be called to spirit, to have that wake-up call. Doesn't want a wake-up call, doesn't want the major announcement being made about him doing it. He doesn't want the attention at this point in time, doesn't want that announcement. So he's trying to let it go, which is a challenge. And the Queen of Cups in reverse is a person needs therapy, like I said, likes to do the victim mindset, codependency, oversensitivity, hasty, and very changeable energy, but does not heed the call for any kind of spiritual calling. It doesn't bother him. It's a challenging position to know that he sent someone to spirit. Forgiveness. He knows it would be a challenging energy for anyone to forgive him for what pathetic thing he did. Judgment is getting rid of your grudges, your wounds. He has been unable to get rid of his wounds. I feel he has issues with women. There is that dependency, probably his mother, some female figure. There is a dependency here, and he feels heavily judged and cannot get rid of the grudges against this particular female. So I think that there's this long-standing antisocial wound here. This person has an inability to truly bond and connect, even with his own mother. I just have a feeling this is the mother here. Strong, whoever was nurturing this individual when they were younger. This was a young thing, I feel. And he works a low-level job. That's very common, too, with these kind of serial killer types. They do tend to work low-level jobs here. And so here, he's not feeling like he's getting the benefits. He's feeling kind of delusional right now. He's trying to cut corners right now at work because he's probably a little bit slightly unhinged. Needs to ask for advice. He's trying to execute things swiftly. He did it very swiftly because he doesn't have the cornucopia of life. He doesn't, his hard work, whatever he's done, has never panned out. So there's this envy here in this position. Feeling very delusional over what kind of benefits he can get. Making plans have never developed. No improvements ever occurred. So this here is basically just failure, knows that we'll never be able to overcome it. So realizes that he did something so grand and so grandiose, he'll never be able to overcome this here with the 8 in reverse. 8 is about overcoming. He will never be able to overcoming it. He was successful, and now he's at risk of attention. Getting attention is attention. So he's thinking, my God, this could give me the attention, which would have been, with this card here, his head was up in the clouds. His head was up in the clouds. It's sort of a fantasy card, day-to-day dreams. So he's had this fanatical fantasy of getting attention because he never got attention. So this is sort of from rage and anger and hatred because he never could acquire that attention. So he's a loner. Dreaming, lots of dream. This is a total fantasy dream card. A kind of a low-level job, not getting the benefits of hard work. Just feels mundane. Boredom probably is kicked in, not wanting to hammer away. And just feeling kind of like I'm just going to go with my logic here. I feel no emotions anyways, and I'm not tapped into nurturing other people, nor can anyone nurture me. Just saying no to any nurturing as well. So just cannot heed that spirit calling that he should not be doing that. It's kind of being ignored because he lacks empathy. Life is a nightmare. It doesn't serve him anymore with the Nine of Swords in reverse. It feels like a bad omen and having to step back from it, not crying over the situation, not weeping over it. And that's because the person lacks empathy. So back to lacking empathy. Let's get to the hidden energy here. Hidden energy on the killer and how he's feeling with every, the investigation. Boom, popped. We got here, he's not going anywhere. He's not putting any plans together with the Two of Wands in reverse. He's staying put and staying low. There's obstacles right now with the Two of Wands. He's overanalyzing his bad plan. He thinks, my God, did I leave something behind? He's trying to avoid risk in this position. Doesn't want to stir up any attention. Even though he would like to go, he would go, he's not going to stir up any attention, so he would probably blend in very nicely and just a very quiet demeanor individual that nobody would think of. And that's usually how they are. You're not going to be able to spot them because they're going to just be so quiet and be masked up. You're not going to know the difference. So we have here the future situation was, yeah, he knows the mothers are going to be there and be very unhappy because they lost their child. The Ace of Pentacles is a loss of life. The mothers are very upset. The mothers cannot nurture their child anymore. There's no more propositions with their child. They cannot have their child anymore. The Ace of Pentacles definitely can be just losing that energy. The mothers are wiped out as well. They're not feeling abundant. Mothers can no longer nurture that particular child. So I feel that is it. I don't think that they're unnurturing mothers, but I would say that this individual had an unnurturing mother. And now these mothers lost their child because this individual never felt nurtured by a female here because it was some kind of cold female and felt this judgment day would come one day, but it would come in the face of other victims. Instead of taking down their own mother figure, whoever was taking care of this individual took out other people as payment because they had this hatred for nurturing females. So I can't have you. I get dumped. I cannot have any propositions. No female would nurture any propositions, being turned down, dealing with the cloudy days of rejection. What else can I say? With the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, just feeling like no breakthroughs, no opportunities. There's just no chance at ever having kids with this too, because he's always being turned down and rejected, not being able to manifest what he wants, untapped talent and abilities to be able to get a female to nurture him and give him the chance in life, feeling like he is idealistic and he is growing as an individual and just waiting for it to come through. So feeling like there's hope, but I think that this person just turns dark in the meantime, waiting for growth here, constantly waiting for growth with a female of any kind, but it just hasn't happened. Let's get to the feelings in the situation. Feelings in the situation. I got that one. And that one, yeah. So he wears a social mask with his family, and he probably feels that everyone else does it as well, is how I'm feeling with this immediately. I feel like he thinks, oh, well, all families are fake. They're all liars, and they're all wearing social masks, and I could just unmask this whole situation here. This person feels like they've been unmasked publicly, even though the name hasn't come out, fearing being unmasked because this is the liar position. This is someone who will take you out. This is someone that will work against you and gets a charge out of it. Very dishonorable acts, deception, brittle ego, and a mask, and being exposed. He fears being exposed to his family and to all the connections that he has to affect any kind of sense of peace that he might have at home. And that would affect the Queen of Wands female in his life. That is also the female. There's someone who's very domineering and unloving that he's had in his life, is how I feel about that. Yeah, and the Queen of Wands in reverse is a woman who's not rising up. There's a lot of obstacles, a lot of demanding energy, temper tantrums, jealousy, a lot of very melodramatic female, unreasonable, not managing well. So I would feel that he's got someone in his life. It's not good at home. His home life is a lie, in essence. And he doesn't like who he's living with. I feel he's living with his mom. Let's get to the next position here. We have here temperance. So the hopes and fears is he's hoping that he can maintain his self-control with the temperance, that his devil energy doesn't emerge, because when the temperance is in reverse, those angel wings turn into devil wings when you can no longer keep yourself calm, cool, and collected. Trying to keep that temperance and that bringing opposing forces into balance within himself, trying to internally negotiate with himself as to how he's going to handle himself if he was to get unmasked and busted here. The fact that I got this here, he's going to get busted. He will get busted. Otherwise, it would be in this position. So he's going to get busted. He will get busted, and everyone is going to be very happy about it with the Ten of Cups. There will be joy, a positive net of people celebrating. There will be joy when he gets unmasked and busted. And so he's going to come off as calm, cool, like he is just, a total calm reaction. He's not going to react. He's just going to be negotiate. Let's negotiate. How am I going to get out of this? With lawyers, get the best deal. I'll tell you this, if I get less time or if you give me a certain prison, there will be negotiation. So let's get to the final call for this individual who took out 4 lives. This final outcome for someone who took out 4 lives. What's it going to be? 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 We have here the Page of Cups upright. He's going to try and paint himself. They were idealistic. They were young children, basically, in college. He's just a little bit older, not by much. I think he's in his early 30s. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I think basically his mother, once again, another mother or female in his home, very low vibe. So we have 3 low vibe queen cards here who will think that my son was idealistic here. But really the idealistic individuals was the victims here. No friends, no support. So she will probably say and claim, well, my son is perfect. He doesn't have any friends. He's a loner. No connection, except probably goes to work and then comes home. He acts idealistic in front of the very low vibe female he's living with. But basically, there's a lack of funds. There's not a lot of money there. The 4 is in reverse. There's not a lot of financial stability. There's no stability within the home, his career, or anywhere in his family. So basically, it's a very unhappy environment he's living in. But the mother will claim he's innocent, he's idealistic, and he is an antisocial. He doesn't have friends, he doesn't have connections, and I don't possess him, I don't watch over him, I don't keep boundaries up with him. So there's low boundaries with this card too, with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse upright. You're maintaining healthy boundaries. Here, there are no boundaries. So there's no boundaries within the relationship with the mother here. And she's just going to say, he's my boy, that's my boy. And her boy is antisocial. Her boy has no friends, very unhealthy competition, isolation. He always feels like the third wheel, very sensitive and hurt, feeling like he doesn't quite have the safety net that other people have, because I've gotten all this queen energy in reverse. And so basically always feeling like plans are canceled. There's no celebrations. He just doesn't have that collaboration in life that he wishes he had. There is no friendships in the community. There's no successful conclusions. There's no emotional bonds. Just overly sensitive individual who cannot get his act together and just lashed out against innocent victims. So, and mom's going to claim he's my innocent boy, who's idealistic. He just doesn't have friends, or nobody likes him, and he can't get a woman either. So That is the energy I'm getting. I do think he will get busted, though, here. But he is avoiding attention with this Six of Wands. He's avoiding attention with the Star in reverse. He is focused on knowing, oh, my God, they might get me. And when they do, I'm going to try and have some options here that I'm going to lay out, because it may not work for me, though. Hammering away at working at something may not work once the attention goes on to him. And he is going to enjoy the attention. Because he has no empathy, and he's a little bit disordered, and to say the least, and doesn't have clear thinking with that Ace of Pentacles in reverse that I had here. Very low vibe person, so it's not going to affect him like it would a neurotypical or a normal thinking person. So yeah, I think he will get caught. I think they will catch the individual. And let's get to the center of the deck. What do I have here? Ace of Swords. Yeah, there'll be a clarity of thought here. That here is the law and order card here with the Ace of Swords upright. That is law and order. Cutting out. Yep, you did it. You killed those people. That's also could be end of life. It's also he has to end his old thought patterns. It will be a quick victory, a clean break from his mom, who, another Queen in reverse, who is cruel, calculating, and he can't stand her. Once again, that is cutting out too. So he did cut out people literally with swords, and he probably really wanted to do it to his mom. He really wanted to do it to someone else, but he did it to these 3 females and a male. Quite possibly the male was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was really aiming for females. He's got a hatred for females here. And if there isn't a mother at home and she passed away, that resentment's still there. Because maybe she left him. Maybe she left him with the father, abandoned him. So there could be this abandonment wound here of the mother cutting out. So I'm going to cut out other females. They represent my mother here, the nurturing that I did not get. So yeah, sick individual, and they tend to redirect the rage, anger, and hatred onto an innocent person. That's not, to someone that did not create that original wound. They go to someone else to ease that feeling, that dis-ease they have, is soothing to them. And he has clear thought that he was going to do some cutting out here. It's also sort of a judge, jury, executioner here. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, they're both kind of judge, jury, executioners. They don't go on emotions whatsoever. They're strictly hardcore logic. They don't like to tap into their emotions. They can be very brittle, very cruel, very cutting. Tyranny, really. Both of them are total cold-hearted tyranny and very rigid, very controlling, very self-serving. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, like and subscribe, and I hope this family gets through this. This is just horrific. I can't imagine. All right, you guys, take care and stay blessed. Bye-bye.